Hola! In the previous lesson, you learned the letters of the alphabet and how to spell your name and other words in Spanish. The objective of this lesson is that you will be able to recognize and create the sounds for each letter of the Spanish alphabet. Okay, let's get started. La letra A. The name of the letter is A, and that's the sound it makes. A. Even when you see this word alone in a sentence, this letter alone actually is a word in itself. It's also pronounced A. So we never have that long A sound like we do in English. So an example of this would be the word avión, which means airplane. A. Okay, la letra B. It makes the sound B pretty much like in English, but a little bit softer, like in the word bota, which means boot. Okay, C. The letter C in Spanish has two sounds, just like in English. It has a soft sound and a hard sound. In English, for example, we say circus. The first C is soft, like an S, and the second C is hard. Circus. Here's the rule for knowing when to make the C soft or hard in Spanish. When the C comes before the letter I or an E, the sound is soft, like an S. When it is followed by the other vowels, A, E, and O, or in Spanish, A, E, O, it's hard. Okay, so here's two examples. Cerdo, the word for pig, is a soft C because it comes before the letter E, the English letter E, right? So cerdo. But it's hard in a word like carro, which means car, because it's followed by an A. So we have cerdo, soft like an S, and k, hard, carro. Okay, in the last lesson you learned that the CH or che is really not a letter anymore, but it is a sound. You see these two letters together, and it's never k, it's never hard, like sometimes we have that in English. Here, for example, in the word chocolate, spelled just the same, cha. It's always cha. Okay. All right. The day, right, is pretty much like the English D. When it's at the beginning of the word, it's very similar. In Spanish, the word duro actually means hard. And duro, with that D at the beginning, we're going to pronounce it like we do in English. However, when it comes between two vowels, it has more of a TH sound, like the. So in the word puedo, like in puedo ir al baño, which you've heard in class, this D here is more pronounced like a TH, puedo, puedo, not puedo. Okay, so it's hard at the beginning of a sentence, and it's when it comes between two vowels, like it does here, it's going to have that TH sound. All right, I'm going to get rid of this. For now, you should have that in your notes, and if you don't, you can go back and add it. All right, la letra E. All right, this sounds like the long A in English. A. The example here would be mesa, which means table. Mesa. All right, F. It's just like the English F, okay? What is important to note is that in Spanish, we don't have this letter combination, PH. So when you have words in English like photo, those are spelled in Spanish this way, with F-A, photo. So this does not exist. No existe en español PH. All right? Okay. All right. The letter G is hey, and this has two sounds as well. Now in English, we have two sounds for the G. It can be hard, like in the word gap, and it can be softer, like in the word garage, and it has that j sound. In Spanish, it has two sounds too. It has a hard sound, like in the word guapo, which means attractive, guapo, or gordo, which means fat, okay, like a cerdo gordo. But it also has a soft sound. Now it's not the same. It's not a j, it's a h, like in the word Argentina. Argentina is not Argentina, okay? In Spanish, it's g or h. Argentina. Another example would be the word intelligente, soft. All right. The H. All right, here's the sound. Did you hear it? That's because the H is silent. Like in the word hola, we don't say hola. Okay, so when you see that H by itself, it is not pronounced. Okay, the only time you're going to hear is with that CH in that ch, right? But otherwise, H, no sound. All right? That's a good quiz question, by the way. Okay. All right. H-E. All right, this is the English I, or it's the Spanish E. All right, and that's just how it's pronounced, E, like in Iman, which is a magnet. All right, Iman. All right, again, I'm going to get rid of these. All right, we're on Jota. Okay, the sound that the Jota makes is very hard. It's like a hard H. H, like in the right from the back of your throat. H, like in the word jarra or jueves. Okay, H. Okay, Ka or K in English, K, Spanish, Ka, is pretty much the same. Okay, and there are not too many words in Spanish that begin with ka, but here's one. Kiwi. All right? L-A. Same sound as in English. Lapis, which means pencil. Okay, lapis. Same sound. All right, again, we have this A-Y, right, which is not really a letter anymore, but it is a sound and an important sound. It has a couple of different variations. This double L together, all right, is pronounced like a Y, like in the word llamo. Me llamo Señora Ye. Okay, so it's pronounced like a Y. In some Latin American countries, you will hear this pronounced like a soft J. Like, for example, the word lluvia is frequently pronounced lluvia, okay, and that means rain, okay, lluvia, and neither is incorrect, okay. Typically, I do use the y, all right, but you will hear the j, and that is fine as well. All right, M-A. That's a nice, easy one. It's just like English. Maleta is a suitcase. Maleta. Another easy one, N-A. Nieve is snow. Nieve. All right, so now we come to N-Y. All right. And N-Y is the only letter that we don't have in the English alphabet. And the sound is ny, kind of like this. Ny, like in the English word canyon. Okay. Sometimes I see students write español, which is correctly spelled this way, right? Spanish, español. I see students write it this way. Okay, so that is not correct, right? Español is spelled with the N-Y. Okay, so we'll get rid of that one. All right, O, that's a nice easy one. It's O, like a long O sound. Oso means bear, like our school mascot, oso. P, it's a soft P. Paraguas, umbrella. Paraguas. All right, Q has a K sound, and it's typically followed by a U, all right, like in the word queso. And this has a, which I think you all know what that means, right? Pero queso, that Q-U is K. It's never qua. Never qua. It's always hard K. Okay, R. All right, here's the thing with the R. At the beginning of a word, it gets trilled or rolled, okay? Like in the word radio. And that's self-explanatory, right? That's a cognate, radio. We will practice with that sound in class. Okay? But when it's in the middle, like this, cero, cero. It's a quick tap of the tongue, right? Cero. And again, we're going to practice with these two sounds in class. But at the beginning of the sentence, R gets trilled, radio, and in between, like these two vowels here, cero. Okay. All right. The doble R here, again, that's a sound. Okay, so when you see that, it's that trill, the trill. Okay. All right. S is the same as English, sombrero, which means hat, sombrero. Okay, T, that is the same as in English. Tijeras is an example. Scissors, tijeras. Okay. The U is a long, sounds long, U. Okay, U, like unicornio. Okay, unicornio. It's not U, it's U. So when we pronounce this, we have to try really hard not to give it that English U. Okay, it's U, unicornio, not unicornio. Okay, the letter V. All right, the V and the B in Spanish, right? They're both the same, ve and ve. Okay, and you learned that in the last lesson, ve larga, ve chica. It's pronounced sort of in between a B and a V, ve. All right, and again, we'll practice with this sound in class, right? But video would be an example. All right, W is the same as in English. Waffle is an example. Waffle. Notice we don't have that double F. All right, you don't see that in Spanish, that double F. All right, X. X has the sound of typically, and not always, but typically of X. Okay. Here's a word. Xylophone. Xylophone. All right, for xylophone. So we have that X sound. Now occasionally it does have a hard H sound, like in the word Mexico. Mexico. Okay. All right, Y is the same as English. Yogurt. You can guess what that means. And zeta is soft, okay? It's not so much like a Z, but more like an S. So, zanahoria, which is carrot, zanahoria, or zapato, which is shoe. It's not a z pato or a zanahoria. Okay, so we want to make this more like an essay. All right. Again, we're going to practice with all these sounds in class, but you can practice right along with this video. You can stop it, rewind it, go to the letters that you have trouble with. The last thing, and again, we'll work with these vowels, a, I, O, and U. And just to let you know, in Spanish, we don't have a sometimes Y, okay? Y never functions as a vowel. It's always a consonant. All right, great. We'll see you in class. Buena suerte.